to make an impression. The voices who've made the trip halfway around the world are the ones making themselves heard at the moment in the Wellington Stadium. Taken on by Faletau, winning just his 4th cap. So many players who've come into this World Cup squad with late bursts. Williams not one of them, neither is this man, Alan Wynne-Jones, winning his 53rd cap this evening. Phillips to Warburton, to Faletau, held up by Yanni du Plessis. Again, Williams in midfield. Again, Alan Wynne-Jones, his chosen recipient. Decent possession. You would question how much progress they're making towards the try line at the moment, and the big South African tackles continue to rein in. Pierre Spies was at the centre of that one, but Wales will have the scrum.
It is difficult for Wales, isn't it? We're talking, got ball, got possession, using a lot of energy, have not actually gained a huge amount of territory. Big hit.
What stop?
But it's easy. Could do. Wales sometimes do get caught. I know they've been talked about a lot in the press, very similar to England, one out running.
Thanks, Mickey.
Could do with having some options, creating doubt in the defensive line. It's easy to get out of the line, hit your target, identify it early and put a big shot in.
You can, but not now.
No, you can.
Warren Gatland top left, Robin McBride in the middle, 2 gentlemen either side, the video analysts, Reece Long and Rodri Brown, who are almost as important as the defence and the kicking and the forwards coaches these days. So much analysis goes on, and Welsh analysis as good as anyone's in the world. Adam Jones, Wales' shaggy haired rock, the stabiliser really. Welsh scrum so much better when he's at tight head, locking the whole thing up.
Number 1 tight head at home for sure.
Pull. Engage.
Faletau feeds Phillips, who drew Brousseau and then carried on a little line of his own. Shane Williams played at scrum half in his very early days. Not sure how often Dan Lydiot spent there. He does the straightforward job of just running with the ball and recycling possession. Here goes Faletau again. 12 years after his dad Cooley represented Tonga in the '99 World Cup. Priestland. It's an interesting kick. Didn't really do anything, didn't really give the runners the opportunity to run onto it or put Frans Steyn under any kind of pressure.
The problem, the South African defence out wide is coming up on an umbrella defence from the outside and cutting off the Welsh attack. Bruce Priestland actually done the right thing, kicking it down the corner. Wayne Barnes is a bit stroppy.
Now, why are we seeing the former Bath player Butch James looking like he's readying for business? It's because he's replacing Jean de Villiers. Poor old Jean de Villiers doesn't have much luck at World Cups. Tournament 4 years ago lasted 40 minutes before he was injured in the opening game then. This time it's not even lasted that long. Butch James is on. Dupree, best kicker of a ball in that position in the world, and George North got his long legs in a bit of a tangle there and needed Hook's nimbleness to rescue the situation. But it's what Fourie Dupree can do from those situations. He is rated the best kicking scrum half in the world.
It's almost like he didn't read the ball, wasn't it?
Tackle tackle made by Lydiot on Heinrich Brosseau. De Prier to Mtawawira, terrorising opponents in the front row since his debut against Wales in 2008 on their summer tour there. Berger, tackled by Charteris. This is Smith. The intensity of the tackle from Faletau as it was made. Man whose break led to the try, Jacques Ferry, very early on, but this time Welsh defence read the run. Friesland, just happy to play for territory. Steyn had to be vigilant. Ball just wouldn't come to heel. Did go backwards though from his point of view. And Wayne Barnes was happy to let the South African fall back clear to touch.
I think the players are struggling to pick the ball up, Nick, because there's a couple of occasions when the ball being kicked long, with this a light. Perfect opportunity now though for Wales to really put some pressure on the South African team.
Hearing, by the way, that de Villiers has a rib injury. That's the reason that Butch James is on early on. Here goes North, upended by Brosseau, but it's still Welsh ball. Taken on by Jones. Try scorer in this tournament against Canada and Japan 4 years ago. The danger with going into those situations without the necessary support, and with somebody like Heinrich Brosseau trying to rip it off you, is that you hang on a second too long, and that's precisely what happened to Wales there.
Yeah, disappointing. Perfect opportunity for the Welsh boys. And easy, big clearing kick suddenly. Slightly isolated Alan Wynne. Speed, the South Africans getting on the ball, making a nuisance of themselves. Easy decision for Wayne Barnes. But I'm encouraged by this Welsh performance though. They're not giving up.
John Smith with the line out. The best hooker in the world, according to his coach Pete de Villiers before the match. Wasn't straight, and it was a quote that was beautifully dealt with by John Smith as well, who with a wry smile on his face said, "My wife thinks I'm the most handsome man in the world as well." It's a matter of opinion, isn't it, sometimes?
I think he dealt with it very well, didn't he? I think he's been around long enough to understand what coaches say and what they mean.
Pause, engage. Scrum's gone down, far side. One green, one binding. Okay, it was far side, that's why.
One green is Tendai Mtawawira. Vinnie Munro just passing the information on to Wayne Barnes via the microphone on top of the flag. See it from this side, Phil.
Ooh.
Actually looks as if it was Adam Jones losing the binding.
Touch.
Adam Jones wasn't binding at all.
Engage.
But it's the vagaries of the scrum, and it's Wales who get the penalty.
Good hit, good reaction speed. Great speed across the gap there from the Welsh front row. Good to see.
Correct.
Wayne Barnes has impressed me tonight. Not I like to talk about referees. Very firm, let the game flow.
Always been popular in this country, I think, hasn't he? Especially after that match against France in Cardiff.
Yeah, I thought he went across, that was a problem.
I think they've welcomed him back. They've forgiven him for the
I'm sure they have.
forward pass that the whole of New Zealand will never forget. Welsh line out. Sniffing as they are around the South African 22 again. Beautiful run, arcing run from Roberts. Taken on by Priestland. Doing the simple things well, Rhys Priestland, not overcomplicating it. Here he goes again, finding his runners, who on that occasion was Lydiot.
Advantage.
Penalty coming because Berger wasn't rolling away quickly enough. Phillips looking for holes in the defence that so far haven't been there, and Davis knocks on.
That side, and you chose to roll into the night.
Wayne Barnes telling Skultberger that his roll in the direction of the ball was deliberate, and that's the reason for the penalty.
Using his experience. Been around for a long time. Wonderful player. But Wales beginning to gain a bit more confidence. Just need that final pass, final opportunity. Mike Phillips, great ball. That's where we want to see Jamie Roberts up the middle, committing defenders. Men on the outside there.
Jamie Roberts emerged as a player of real quality on the Lions tour to South Africa a couple of years ago. We all knew what he had within him, but it was during that tour that we realised for sure that he was a very special player, and these are the tournaments that players like Jamie Roberts will want to show what they can offer. Now Hook very narrowly missed from a similar position 15 minutes ago. Not this time. No room for doubt. And despite conceding the earliest of tries to South Africa and to Frans Steyn, Wales have done more than hold their own in this match. And South Africa deserve nothing more than their 4-point lead going into the final 10 minutes of the first half.
Wales are always within the score, that's where they've got to be. They can't afford to let South Africa get too far ahead of them. And if anything, they've had the best of this first half.
Friesland did well initially to gather the ball that was on the half volley, and then Jonathan Davis did even better. Kept his head, kept the ball, took Wales up towards the 22 and provided a platform for the forwards to drive the ball away. Dupree, we've seen catching the ball has been a pesky operation so far, in which case Hook did very well. Oh. Some of the clearing kicks, though, from both sides have been wretched. Here goes Berger. Tackle needed to be made by Hook, and it was made. Comes up with stars in his eyes, doubtless, though. Rousseau. Dupree. Steyn. As this ball bouncing, it'll bounce into the dead ball area. Friesland dabs down, and Wales will have a dropout 22.
Wales defensively very strong, keeping the South Africans at bay. You won't mind them having to kick through, it means they're not getting through in person. The names have impressed me tonight. Jonathan Davis, we expect it from Jamie Roberts. Dan Lydiot's got through a mountain of work, very impressed with him, fantastic talent.
Matfield held up by Yanni du Plessis, wins the ball back for South Africa. The shocking blonde locks of Skultberger drive it forward. Matfield re-engages. Charteris does his best to try and disrupt, and is allowed to do that. Dupree, Steyn. This is Butch James. Not seen much of him since he came on a little while ago to replace Jean de Villiers.
1 feet, 14 didn't clear him out. Holding on.
Here we go.
Williams, off on his own, runs into Spies, presents the ball back for Phillips. Here goes Lydiot. Phillips again, taken on by Jamie Roberts. This is the area of the field where Wales have done their best work, where they've looked their most dangerous, not yet really looked like scoring a try. Perhaps they're leaving it for this moment. 5 minutes away from half-time, Faletau rolling off the tackle of Berger. It's more of a collision of muscular minds. Bennett Priestland.
Nothing wrong.
Nothing wrong with the tackle. Davis does his best to hassle Habana.